What's going on, guys? A lot of y'all been hitting me up asking me to roast Hunter Avallone, aka Hunter Cry Alone. You remember him, the guy that I made cry on live stream? He was out there being all nasty and going woke. He used to be conservative, turned woke, and I told him, you a beta, your wife's gonna leave you because she like guys like me. I was right. No, seriously, she ended up hooking up with an ugly version of me and then tried to go on the 5-5 deal from Domino's. She went on a 5 trip. She did the Booker T 5 time champion. But she wilded out in these streets, and I was 100% right. And he's just been sad and miserable and just mad ever since. Also, he had an incident when he got a new girlfriend and her ex bust up in the crib with the blammy, kicked in the door like CJ from San Andreas. Black out. And what did he do? He hid behind her. Hunter Avallone hid behind his girlfriend. No. And he pushed her in front, right? And she got hurt. There's footage of this. I've done video breakdowns of it. It's pretty crazy. But let's take a look at what he has to say now. He's complaining about Candace Owens. She did this like conversation where she smoked Piers Morgan. Let's see what he has to say about it. I'm not sure if we're going to watch this, all of this, bro. Yeah, because I don't know if I could take him crying all day, but let's check it out, though. Let's check it out. Let's get straight into it.
Candace joins me now for our first ever interview. So finally.
Hold on. Y'all know I be listening to stuff double speed. Let me, wait, what?
Finally, Candace Owens.
I hate when I do that. I press the button by accident. First of all, turn this off. There you go.
We get to do an
I'm
interview.
very happy to be here, Piers. I promised. And honestly, credit to your producer because she just was like, I'm going to make it happen no matter what. So
as much as I would love to just keep my picture covering this loser's face, let me move myself a little bit. You gotta move yourself in the moment. And let me see. I'm trying to find a comfortable spot. Let me see. You know, I'm gonna be next to Candace. Nah, I'm good here. We can keep it rocking here. Let's say next time I'll be next to Candace. You know what I mean? Next time. Why do I keep making this bigger by accident?
Have a bunch of ruthless Rottweilers of both genders who didn't let it go. And what did you want? Because you are a fascinating public figure. There's no question about that.
Guys, hit the like button.
A fascinating,
maybe a fascinating case.
Shut your punk ass up. Run this back. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, share the video. This is what realness is. If you like seeing wokies get roasted, you want to see these woke losers get toasted on stream, make sure you subscribe to me and check out my clips.
Public figure. There's no question about that. I think we're going to have a fascinating,
maybe a fascinating case study in retardation.
View. I do want to go into some more detail before we start, though, to show the level of my generosity in giving you this platform on my show, given some of the stuff you've said about me. So April 2022, when I launched the show with my interview with Trump, it all kicked off, obviously. You said, if my team was unethical and dishonest as the snake Piers Morgan, we'd have sensationally edited this clip of Trump to make it look like he threw a tantrum and asked the cameras to be shut off when in reality the interview was over and we simply wanted to chat off camera. I responded, I bow to your superior knowledge of being a snake, Candace. Tune in on Monday and you'll learn something about real interviews.
Damn! The British roasts are heating up already. We're only 2 minutes in. Damn!
That's so trash.
You then said Piers is whatever he has to be on any given day for attention. He's not guided by any set of principles, which is why I say both sides need to stop platforming his sensationalism.
Didn't Candace Owens literally say she was never a victim of racism, even though she sued her college campus and won $30,000 because she claimed she experienced racism?
In March.
What the hell are you talking about? This nigga, it's been like 5 billion years since the incident that he's speaking on, and he's using it out of context.
Of that year, I accused you of falling for Putin's propaganda when he invaded Ukraine. and I called Putin the new Hitler. You said you're such a toddler, Piers, that's way too old to be seriously entering in a literally Hitler analysis.
Insult.
Keep yourself contained to mean tweets about Meghan Harry, while the adults discuss foreign affairs, NATO, and Western hegemony.
Candace so swagged
in March
out.
the same year, you wrote with a picture of Finding Freedom, the most historical thing Piers Morgan has ever read. In January 2022, you said, I find Piers Morgan to be morally inconsistent, which breeds intellectual dishonesty. I welcome a public discussion with him about systemic racism, a topic with which he's impassioned, although apparently not impassioned enough to speak with me about it. Why do you suppose that is? You added, we're all at the edge of our seat waiting for an answer here, Piers Morgan. Well, okay.
You should do that more often. I like when you read mean tweets about Piers Morgan. That was great. I salute you for that. That was wonderful.
Exactly. And the truth is, I actually do want to give you a platform.
I can say exactly.
With that. I would obviously contest much of your characterization of me.
Exactly. Shut up.
Some of those mean tweets, but that's fine. We can move on because there's a much more interesting story, I think, involving you, which has played out in the last few months, which everybody knows about. So let's just talk about that. Why did you leave the Daily Wire?
Well, unfortunately, I can't talk about the specific reasons that I left the Daily Wire, but what I can do is respond to whatever reasons were given to the public. And obviously, no sooner did we agree to leave than Andrew Klavan of the Daily Wire did an entire episode stating that the reasons that I was leaving was because I was anti-Semitic and I was engaging in a type of anti-Semitism that was hard to pin down. And that is why in my first episode.
Okay, and this is obviously going to play a role, or this is obviously going to lead into Candace tweeting out "Christ is King," which in and of itself doesn't sound bad at all. It sounds very innocuous.
Because he is king.
However, that specific phrase was actually used. Was it by Hitler or by the Nazis purposely to?
Oh, shut up! Is my camera back on? Shut up! This nigga's crazy. He really just said, "No. You can say Christ is king, bro. There's nothing wrong with that." I don't know why he's trying to make it seem on anybody. He's trying to make that seem like there's an attack on anybody. Jesus is king. Facts. Like, what's wrong with people? Why is it so okay to attack Christians? Right? Everybody else could just rep their stuff peacefully. We can't rep Jesus. Right? That got to be an attack. Nasty as hell.
Provoke the Jews during the time of World War II. So for her to have tweeted that, it does come off pretty anti-Semitic since Ben Shapiro is Jewish. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of Ben Shapiro reaping the consequences of even.
That's so stupid. That's so dumb. Right? That's a really dumb opinion, bro.
Hiring campaigns to begin with.
I want to play you what Ben Shapiro told me when I asked him about this on Uncensored. One of the consequences of this war has been a lot of very high passions on both sides, a lot of angry disagreements. You and your company have been at the center of a very high profile one at the moment with Candace Owens, who's now left Daily Wire. Was she fired or did she leave of her own volition?
I'm not going to speak to this topic, Piers.
At all?
At all. The only thing I will say is what I've said all along with regard to Candace or with regard to any of our other hosts. I am not in hiring and firing position with the Daily Wire. I'm a co-founder of the Daily Wire, I'm a co-owner of the Daily Wire. I'm not actually in management. And as far as the free speech situation, what I will say is that no company has the obligation to literally pay anyone. The Daily Wire is a publisher. It is not a platform.
Interesting how he's making the same argument that could be made for social media platforms when he himself claims that it's censorship then.
Do you agree with that, Candace?
Also, why are they not talking about it? Why are they like refusing to say anything about it? It just makes it seem so much more suspicious.
Agree with which part?
Well, okay, let's
because Candace is right.
Well, I think that it's interesting, and I'd love to.
That's the obvious reason. It's because Candace is right. They are wild, and that's what's going on.
Down with and debate Ben Shapiro on a number of topics, particularly cancel culture, because I know that he's made some comments in the past that he believes that publishers, platforms should allow people to have different ideas. And so those particular comments to me sound in contrast to what he has said in the past.
I mean, he made the point at the end there that any company, any private company, when it comes to free speech, is not compelled to pay people to work for them. I mean, would you accept that as a principle?
Well, what I would say again is that it just kind of runs into what is wrong. I guess the question you could ask is, what is wrong if CNN fires somebody for having a different opinion? What then is wrong if Fox News fires somebody for having a different opinion? Your answer would have to be that it's not wrong, and that company.
It's not really wrong, depending on what the goal of the company is. It would be wrong if your company's stated goal was to feature diverse opinions of all thinking. Okay. But if it's, Fox News, and their goal is to give conservative news, and then they have somebody up here who's like, I'm a liberal. Joe Biden's the best. Fuck Trump. Not literally though. Then of course they're going to probably not want that person on the team.
You're bugging out. Daily Wire preach freedom all day, every day. What? They speak against what they've been doing the last few months since the beginning. Right. So, I think if you're referencing Daily Wire, you're bugging out.
Out of interest, is it true that you signed an NDA? That's why you can't really talk about this in detail.
I cannot speak in detail about any of that stuff.
You can't even confirm whether you've had an NDA.
I am not free to speak about any topic pertaining to contracts signed or not signed. And so.
You see, this is where it gets interesting for me, because you referenced Andrew Klavan from the Daily Wire. I want to play a part of what he said.
Why can they just not say anything? Like, I'm sorry, but it makes it so much more suspicious. I would say the same thing, by the way, if it was like a liberal, like if they were like, there is no evidence of election fraud. Oh, really? How do you know? I can't really speak on that. I too would be like, that's kind of fucking sussy sounding. Why are you, what?
The Daily Wire parted ways with Candace Owens. And part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. And she was doing it in such a way that was kind of hard to pin down. So I was trying to show where these things happen.
So I'm bemused because I've been involved in a lot of contracts in my time.
If it's hard to pin down, then I don't think it was happening at all.
Been an employer, I've been an employee.
Did he just say bemused?
I don't understand why somebody from the Daily Wire can be so explicit about the reasons you left, and yet you are not able to be as explicit to defend yourself or to counter what they're saying.
That's actually a very good point. Why is that the case?
Because
thank you, Pierce, for bringing that up. Why is Andrew Klavan or whatever the fuck able to?
It's because they nasty. It's just as clear as day. He didn't say much, but they're saying way more than what Candace has been allowed to say, for sure.
Say whatever he wants, apparently, but she can't say anything. Ben Shapiro can't say anything.
Amen, Pierce.
Well, Ben Shapiro.
Amen. I think that is probably a question that was on a lot of people's minds. And, what can I say other than what was it that Kanye was saying about contracts? And, I think it is, even if you believe that it is valid for that to happen, I think it is immoral to allow someone to attack someone and to not allow them to defend their name. And so for me, Andrew actually rose to the level of defamation when he started claiming that I had actually said things that I had never said. I mean, he flagrantly lies. And I showed that on my platform when he pretended that I did an episode suggesting that Adolf Hitler burning books was a good thing. I wasn't even speaking about Adolf Hitler. It's a nonsense to think that I would do that on my platform. And it's a trick also. It's meant to make people feel emotional. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that she's supporting Adolf Hitler. And I thought it was nasty business. I thought it was extremely nasty business. And, for me, Piers, it's important for me to state my name means a lot to me.
Okay. Enough of this just like random gag order stuff. Clearly, we're not going to find out why the hell she left. But this is really the part that stuck out to me of the whole part of this episode. This chapter, Christians are the most persecuted in the world. Certainly not in America. Facts. I would want to see stats for global statistics. Before we even get into this one, we should look it up. Around 365 million Christians are subject to high levels of persecution, discrimination. Christianity and Islam are persecuted in more countries than other religions, and Muslims and Jews are most likely to experience harassment in their countries. Christians and Muslims are the largest religion groups in the world.
Well, and see what y'all saying? Not saying yes or no clearly means that there's an NDA. Yeah.
Harassed in 100%. More countries than any other religious groups analyzed. So that probably also has something to do with them being the largest religions in the world, that you're also going to see more harassment towards members of the largest religion. Jews also faced harassment in more countries.
Hold up. Did he just say, yeah, Christians are being attacked most by default because there's more of them? Is that what this nigga just said? No, he did not. No, he did not say that. That's crazy. That's a wild man. He is bugging.
Than any other religious group besides Christians and Muslims, even though Jews make up just 0.2% of the world's population. The year 2020 also saw an increase in the number of countries where religiously unaffiliated people, including atheists, face harassment. Okay, so it sounds like Christians and Muslims and Jews are up there as the top.
So Candace wasn't lying. All right, now let's get back to the points.
Stanaro hoops, jumping through hoops to try and get a diss on me, ending up looking like a retard. Nice.
Now, to be clear, I am consistent on all matters. I do not want America.
Why be beefing with his chat so much? I'm gonna be honest. Somebody coming here trying to beef with me, I don't really pay attention to them. There was a time where I used to like crack jokes, but then I realized that it might not look how it feels for me. Right? If I'm just having a good time and cracking jokes and not paying really no mind, sometimes people could perceive that as I'm going crazy and paying too much attention to, like, I guess, the negative energy. And I'll be honest, they're right to some extent. So I don't really pay nobody mind that comes in here with that negative stuff, right? But Hunter Avallone will beef with you. Right? He will go back and forth. You don't even got to be like a content creator. Just disagree with him. Sometimes he demands that you come in and debate him right now, or he bans you.
America involved whatsoever in anything that is happening in Israel. I don't want my dollars sent over to Israel. We should not be supporting Israel. Obviously, Thomas Massey has done a lot of work showing how it doesn't even make economic sense that we have so much debt and yet we're sending money over to support Israel. And the biggest issue, by the way, that I have with Israel and talking about them being above reproach is the fact that they are supplying the arms to murder Christians. Okay. In Armenia, the oldest Christian country in the world. And yet nobody talks about that. For whatever reason, it seems to be the circumstance that when Jewish people die in Israel, it's wall-to-wall coverage. But when Christians die all over the world, nobody talks about it. Everyone wants to correlate everything to World War II. Everyone wants to talk about Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I think this is sort of a broken clock moment. Obviously, our involvement with Israel is fucked up. And I've never actually heard the argument presented this way. And this is definitely an interesting way to phrase the argument. And it might even appeal to some of the Christians who otherwise think they must defend Israel because it's God's chosen land or something.
And rightfully so, he was a horrific person. But nobody wants to talk about Henryk Yagoda, right? Nobody wants to talk about the Bolsheviks. Nobody wants to talk about the Christian Holocaust. I am tired of the media, exhausted of the media, not speaking about what is happening to Christians all around the world. And it is especially horrific while at the exact same time that it is happening.
Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already.
The slaughter of Christians in Armenia, the arms being...
Drop some of those comments, man. Drop some comments, as many as you would like.
...supplied by Israel, that the media turns the other way and says, oh, okay, but what about Israel? What about what's happening in Israel? So you know what I'm asking for? Actual equality, okay? Because it seems like this is like a special category, the special relationship that we have. I'm a Christian first, okay? And so my concerns are going to be with what's happening to Christians all around the world because it is us. We are the number one most persecuted religion in the world. And all Christians watching this need to realize the time is now to start speaking up because we have been silenced about the things that are happening to us for a very long time. And the media is very clearly not our friend. When there is...
So see how she did that there? Very clever, actually, the way in which she used the fact that...
No. Before you even say that bull crap, she was honest. That's why people like him don't like her. When I say people like him, I mean woke people. Wokies. The wokest of the wokest. That's why, like, he don't like her that much. Like, or why he hates her. It's because she's honest and she's truthful. He don't like stuff like that. Yeah, it's nasty as hell.
Christians are persecuted in the world to then bring it back around to this community aspect so that she can then herself act as though she is one of the most persecuted in the world. So now we Christians must stick together. Us Christians are the most persecuted in the fucking world, even though you Christians in America actually have it really fine and dandy. She's pretty much extrapolating in a weird way to try and bolster her own victim status.
Wall to wall.
It's not true, bro. It's not true. Churches get attacked. And people get attacked verbally, right? Online, fam. It's like, it's almost as if it's okay, right? Or people have the green light to go after Christian. And this is just my personal opinion. I'm not saying this as 100% fact. I'm not talking for any platforms, but to me, it feels like it's almost like you get the right of way, right? To just go after Christians. And I just feel like it's foul, bro. I really do feel like it's nasty as heck.
Coverage of Christians being killed in Armenia, Christians being killed in Nigeria, and the treatment of Christians in America and all across the globe today. Then you ask me if I will use my platform and I will use my voice to speak about what's happening in Israel. How about that?
Okay. I think that's a perfectly reasonable point to make. The final question I'll ask you on this issue of the Daily Wire.
Stop playing with it,
centers around the Christ is King.
All right, we're done with, oh wait, the Christ is King thing. You know what?
Because it had long been a core slogan of people like Nick Fuentes and other, for want of a better phrase, white supremacists, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. The Daily Wire co-founder...
He said the buzzword. He said white nationalist and white supremacist.
The Daily Wire co-founder, Jeremy Boring, said on X, how is saying...
What is wrong with him? What's wrong with Hunter, man? Won't people be bugging? What is up with this guy?
Christ is King anti-Semitic, the same way anything becomes anti-Semitic when it's used for the purpose of expressing anti-Semitism. It's like asking, how does a shovel become a murder weapon when it's used to murder someone? This isn't hard. A shovel is not innately a murder weapon. Saying Christ is King is not innately anti-Semitic. It's all about how a thing is used. Saying Christ is King for an evil purpose, like using it as a weapon to express your hatred or disdain for the Jews, is a grave sin. God will not be mocked. Invoking him in vain self-promotion or to troll Jews or to attack your political rivals is to carry forth his name in vain.
That's a pretty strong response, though. Actually, that's a solid response.
What would your response be to that?
My response would be that I am an unapologetic free market capitalist. I think Jeremy Boring, as the co-CEO of Daily Wire, went to the market with his idea on Christ is King, and the market has a right to respond. They believe in what he's saying, and they think that what he is saying is true and is right, and they will support the Daily Wire, and they will.
Is she just not able to say anything because of the NDA, or is this just her way of getting out of answering any fucking question?
What is the context of this?
You such a sucker. He's such a sucker. Oh my gosh. We got like a few more seconds and we gonna go to something else, man. I'll let the comment section let me know if we need to part 2 this or something, because this is good. And it's a long video in the first place, but fam, let me know, man. Let's give him a few more seconds.
Of what you just said to me. As I just said to you, if it was pertaining to Rabbi Shmuley, who I think is a piece of filth, who has gotten away with everything in the media. And I'm grateful that people are understanding that that man has harassed me for 2 years. And I'm grateful that for any person that has supported me in responding to Rabbi Shmuley and his hag daughter. Okay.
If that's the person that went on there to try to debate her and got smoked, I'm talking about destroyed. Yeah, I'm Team Candace on that, pimp. I'm Team Candace on that all day, every day.
Okay. If you are going to pointedly ask me if I am uncomfortable with the fact.
Did she just say hag daughter? Why would she randomly just like insult his daughter? That seems very weird. Or was she involved in like criticizing Candace at all?
You've been insulting Candace this entire time. That's all you do is insult. What are you talking about?
So
all you do is insult.
Fuentes also believes that Christ is King. I want every single person in the world to declare Christ is king. Whether you believe them to be a Nazi, a white supremacist, a Jew, a Muslim, it is the free.
She's not getting it. Oh no, it's going right. It went in one ear and out the other for her. Oh okay. Man. She does not understand it at all. I want everybody to say Christ is King, even if you say they're a white supremacist.
Okay, that's not the same person that she debated. Okay, I was gonna say because I don't like that dude, any way, shape, or form. Back when she debated him, I went and looked. He was wilding, right, and he was spinning every narrative to try to make it seem like Candace was like a bad person, right? Which is what most woke people do. But if y'all saying that's not the same person, then I'm mistaken, right? Or no, I did ask if that was the same person. So I'll have to do more research on this person that she's speaking on. I don't really know of them. But if they did the same thing that the person that she debated did, then yeah, they foul. Right? But once again, I don't know much of them.
No.
And thank you guys for confirming that for me.
The context in which it's used Are they saying Christ is king
I got the
to
best
troll
quotes in the
Jews
game.
and they know it makes Jews upset?
Different guy. Thank
Or
you.
are they saying Christ is king because they are a Christian who genuinely believes that Jesus Christ is king? There's a pretty big difference there.
That's it.
I said that was Barkley. I don't remember what his name was.
I would say a less contentious matter, but it's not really. It's Kanye West.
I didn't plan on watching any more of his content after that debate. I'm going to be honest with y'all.
I interviewed him at length towards the end of last year.
Let's hear a little bit of his Ye.
Supportive of Ye.
I got to check out that Ye interview that she did with him, right? Maybe I'll check it out with you guys.
Kanye West. Look, even after he tweeted DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, he posted, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And you wrote on the social media site Parler, if you're an honest person, you do not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. I mean, I don't know, why would you...
Oh, I remember this one. Remember that stupid fuck Candace Owens saying that that tweet wasn't anti-Semitic? And I already remember her defense.
Well, I'm mistaken. Wasn't, because the definition of that, isn't that for like protection or something like that? I forgot. It was a while ago when he said that, but I remember looking into it.
She's going to say it here also. Well, that's actually, that's DEFCON, if you know what that means, actually is a defensive thing.
Okay, so I'm correct. Yes. I remember looking into that. So what the hell? If he's saying that he's about to go defensive mode, why are you crying? Nigga, like, why are you mad? Let's hear just a little bit more. We could part two this if you guys want to double up.
DEFCON does not mean that you're going to do something violent or anything. It actually means to protect yourself.
Seems to me it's a pretty brazen statement of anti-Semitism to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. How else could it possibly how else could it be construed?
Yeah, sure. I can tell you how else it can be construed because this is one of the things that's fascinating. First, I'd like to point to how interesting it is that the entire world came down on Kanye West, canceled him, took away his contracts, made his entire family come out and make statements against him when he tweeted that he was going to go DEFCON 3 on some Jewish people, I think is what he wrote.
I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. There you go. I think he actually said it was actually going to be on some Jews. Okay, so if somebody said they're going to go DEFCON 3 or something or another to just some Christians, would you be okay, Candace, or would you be up here screaming and whining that?
I don't think she would be screaming and whining. Based off the definition, you imbecile. Yo, this nigga. All right, yeah, we good. We good on this. Yeah, we cool. This thing is off. Ooh, it's like, is he purposely being like that? Like, I'm not understanding. Is he purposely just like switching that narrative? He just acknowledged what the actual definition was. But then if you said it about Christians, you need to talk to Jesus, bro. You need Jesus in your heart, my nigga. And I'm saying that genuinely. Like, I really do wish that you find your way to Jesus, bro. I'm not saying that to be smart or smug or anything. You are a troubled man. You're a troubled person that I think that, that you need help. You need help, nigga. Like, this dude is crazy. Christians are being attacked on a regular basis. Right? Verbally, whatever. Right? And it's not okay. Right? If Candace says something like Christ is king, that doesn't mean you should go after her. That's disgusting. Right? They don't do that to no other religion, bro. Well, maybe my Muslim brothers. You know what I mean? Y'all get something. I definitely get some heat y'all way for sure. But I think Christians are definitely top of that list of people that like a religion that over and over people go after, right? It's clear as day. But me, I'm team Jesus no matter what. I'm repping, you know what I mean? Christ is king. F all these losers that want to say whatever. They're just nasty. That's my opinion. Tell me what your opinion is down in the comment section. Do you disagree with me? Hit the like button, share the video as well if you can. And also check me out on Patreon and channel memberships if you want to, and watch more videos.